Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about AI slop on YouTube. Today is the day that YouTube was going to supposedly crack down on AI slop. You guys have seen it, I'm sure. It's all over the place now. Lots of fake videos, fake trailers, fake news, literal fake news, news with voiceovers. They're obviously AI generated, right? And a lot of it's wrong. In fact, I just did a video the other day talking about the Rachel Zegler South Park lawsuit, and there were like 20 videos that were getting almost 1 million views in some cases about this lawsuit, and it wasn't real. It didn't actually happen. They were just buzzwords, right? Keywords. Rachel Zegler South Park, doesn't matter if it's real or not. And it was an obvious AI voice. And I've seen this come up, especially in the entertainment space, that there are videos by AI generated commentators, and it's just a script, and the script is wrong. It's very, very wrong. And the cadence is wrong. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is great. YouTube is they're going to crack down on this. No, I don't think they're really going to crack down on it. As hard as people think they're going to crack down on it. In fact, what I think is going to happen is they're going to make another algorithm tweak, and I think it's actually going to harm real creators, because every time they do an algorithm tweak, 90% of the time it does harm real creators. But yeah, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about the wishful thinking of YouTube getting rid of AI slop. All they're saying is they're going to find better ways to detect slop or repetitive content. Basically, you can't take somebody else's video, do a slight variation of it, and re-upload it. And I have to wonder what's going to happen eventually to commentary channels. What's going to happen to Asmongold? You know, like what's going to happen when the bulk of your content is just commenting on other people's videos or whatever? I think that will probably end at some point. Realistically. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, no, I'm not an AI. I look like one. I probably sound like one, but I am not. Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. We've got some more podcasts out there. You can sign up $5 a month. You can get our paywalled content. We got a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. So we are going to be migrating some of our content off of YouTube, because I don't trust YouTube. I've been saying this for a long time. People are all like shocked now. They're like, oh my gosh, guys, YouTube's changing. Everything's changing. Whoa, who saw that coming? I'm like, I did, bitches, like 2 years ago. Hashtag Clownfish was right. And nobody listens to us until it's too late. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to bother telling people what I think is going to happen, because they never listen to us until it's too late. But here we are. So this is coming from TechCrunch. Today's the day, supposedly. YouTube prepares crackdown on mass-produced and repetitive videos as concern over AI slop grows. Now, also remember, and Gizmodo is very correct, YouTube can't put Pandora's AI slop back in the box. Yes, because Google is responsible for making a lot of it. And what is going to happen eventually is Google, I believe, is going to just make its own videos. You have a question, you want to know what a certain thing was like, a historical event, well, Google will generate it for you, and they'll put more black lesbians in wheelchairs in that video. You know, we're going to talk about 14th century Sweden or whatever, Netherlands, and we're going to have lots of black lesbians in wheelchairs in that video, because it's Google. You think I'm joking? I'm not kidding. I think that's eventually what's going to happen. I think YouTube is going to make itself. All right, so on July 15th, the company is going to update its YouTube partner program monetization policies with more detailed guidelines around what type of content can earn creators money and what can't. The exact policy language itself has not been released. On YouTube's help page, it explains that creators have always been required to upload original and authentic content. Doesn't stop people from just shitting out the lowest effort possible stuff. Content farms overseas cranking out all kinds of videos, whatever gets hits, right? And YouTube, look, they have their public policy. They're going to say this is what we don't allow on the platform. But I guarantee you, if somebody brushes right up against the rules and they make them enough money, they're not going to do shit about it. They're going to be like, well, you know, whatever, turn a blind eye, and they don't really take action until the media calls them out. I mean, I noticed this too with a lot of the videos targeted toward kids. They didn't do anything about it until the media ran with it, and then the advertisers started dropping off. They don't care until, and that's most companies, most big corporations especially. They don't care until it hits them in the bottom line, right? So some YouTube creators were concerned the update would limit their ability to monetize certain types of videos like reaction videos or those featuring clips. But post from the head of editorial and creator liaison, or a post, from YouTube head of editorial and creator liaison, Renee Ritchie, says that's not the case. Ritchie says the change is just a minor update to their long-standing partner program policies and designed to better identify when content is mass-produced or repetitive. This content has been ineligible for monetization for years. It's content that viewers consider to be spam. Yeah, if it's the same video or the same variation of the same video over and over and over and over and over again. What he's not saying, though, and they're correct, is it's much easier to create those videos these days using AI. YouTube has become flooded with AI slop, a term referencing low-quality media content made using generative AI technology. It's common to find an AI voice overlaid on photos, video clips, and other repurposed content thanks to text-to-video AI tools. Yeah. Some channels filled with AI music have millions of subscribers. Fake AI-generated videos about news events like the Diddy trial have racked up millions of views. Yeah, I think when it comes to news, that's the big concern I have. Again, anybody that listens to our show or has listened for any amount of time, more than a year, would know that I'm on board with AI as long as it's the ethical use of AI, which is using it as a tool to assist people to make more stuff or make better stuff. Faking news stories is not an ethical use of AI, right? It's just, it's not cool. And that stuff they need to crack down on. It's insane. And I think honestly, I mean, to talk about our space, you know, the news commentary space, the pop culture commentary space, I think it is hurting channels like ours because this whole space has become flooded with a bunch of AI, I can't even say talking heads, but just voiceover videos, right? So I think it's going to be more important for people to use their real voice, show their real face, which I actually do in live streams, believe it or not. And I think that's going to become very important. I think you're going to have to build a connection with the audience and show people you're a real person because that's what a lot of people want. And I think some YouTubers are not prepared to do that. But I think that if you're not showing your face and you're not using your real voice, it's going to become very easy to just assume you're an AI. I think a lot of VTubers are going to get cooked, looking at what they're doing right now with Grok. I mean, these are just thoughts I've had. I'm like, yeah, I think it's going to get really hard. It's going to get really hard to tell what is and what is not AI. Now it's a little bit easier, but in 2 years, I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of people in this space right now that will not be in this space. Hopefully not us, but I'm just saying, I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. But yeah, even in this particular space, information and news and all that, it seems like they're kind of just crapping out all kinds of garbage videos. I was watching some on, and you watch one and YouTube just keeps feeding you more of the same thing. But like I was watching one on a 80s show. I think it was Small Wonder. I don't know why I was thinking about Small Wonder. I'm like, I wonder what happened to whatever, or if you can watch Small Wonder anywhere. I can show the kids how cheesy it was. And I pulled this video up and it's obviously AI and it's getting a whole bunch of stuff wrong. And then I just started getting recommended like all these other very incorrect AI generated retrospectives on American pop culture, probably made in India, I'm guessing. Nothing against India. I don't want to be the next James Gunn, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of these people would not be familiar with American pop culture, right? They're just cranking out content because they think that's what the algorithm wants, and YouTube's rewarding it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, YouTube is rewarding it. A lot of the top videos right now are AI slop. Have you seen those baby shorts? It's just like it's all over the place. They said YouTube is downplaying the coming changes as minor. The reality is allowing this type of content to grow and its creators to profit could ultimately damage YouTube's reputation and value. I think that is long term. I think what's going to happen is and I've said this before, the long form video space is going to be for Hollywood. people that have Hollywood deals or reputable content and established news media. And the plebs are going to get the shorts, and they can go play in the AI swamp along with and try to fight for attention. Because the end game has always been, I believe, for YouTube to overtake Hollywood, to overtake Netflix, and I think this is going to be a step in that direction. Where, yeah, anybody can post on YouTube, but to actually stand out, you're going to have to be with the studio or something. That is my personal opinion, and we might be a few years off from that, but there's a reason. There's a reason I think that a lot of the big YouTubers, people are like, why are all these big YouTubers just suddenly noping out, selling off their companies, trying to get out of Dodge? I think they saw this coming. I think they knew, or they had a heads up or something from somebody at YouTube. Like, this is the direction YouTube is going to go in. That the long form content is going to basically belong to Hollywood and the mainstream media, right? If you want to do news, you've got to be a CBS or an NBC or something, a CNN, to get noticed, because we can't have the Joe Rogans of the world happening again. We won't let that happen again. Just like I don't think YouTube will ever allow Mr. Beast, because he exploited that. He figured out a loophole in the system, how to game the algorithm. I don't think they're ever going to allow that again. That is my personal opinion, because they're not going to let any one person have that much power, and they're never going to let Joe Rogan happen again. They're not going to let somebody outside the media, have that kind of power anymore. So it's going to be a really interesting time. I think a lot. I'm going to be completely brutally honest here. I'm starting to already see it. I think a lot of people are not going to be doing this in a year or two, because it's not going to be viable. I think it's the same thing that I saw happen with websites, and we ran websites for years. We still run websites. Some of them you know about, some of them I don't talk about because it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about here. But we saw a lot of the pop culture news sites just collapse almost overnight because the algorithm. Google is pushing AI, and they're pushing AI to choose what you get to see, and they're using AI snippets to show you parts of a website, but they're not actually directing you to that website, right? So the site owner has zero benefit. They're feeding Google information, but there's zero benefit to the site owner. And I think the same thing is going to happen with YouTube. Right now, YouTube, if you go to the homepage, they basically just throw at you whatever they think you're most likely to click on. And a lot of it's mainstream media. I'm seeing a lot of that on mine. And a lot of it's like old stuff, like our stuff. I'm getting comments on videos from like 4 years ago, and people are like, oh, this is a stupid take because whatever. I'm like, this video's from 4 years ago, bitch. That's why we're talking about what we do 4 years ago. It's so weird. It's so weird to see. But yeah, I think the more insidious part is they're probably going to use the algorithm update, say this is to get rid of AI slop, and oopsie doopsie, the side effect was it gets rid of a bunch of other people too. Oh, well, we don't really care. They really don't. I'm going to be honest. As long as YouTube's bottom line overall is good, they don't care about individual creators. Oh, this influencer only made $5 million this year. Last year, he made $17 million. We don't care. How much money did YouTube make overall? That's really what they care about. And I almost feel like they'd rather spread the views across the whole of YouTube, right? Like, just like, okay, we're going to show everybody equally. So it doesn't matter if you worked your way up to 1 million, 2 million, 10 million subscribers. Somebody comes along with the channel with 500 subscribers, we'll show their stuff too. Actually, we might show their stuff before we show your stuff because they're not monetized, and we don't have to pay them anything, right? I mean, this is kind of what I think they're doing, is they're going to look at the bottom line as a whole, which they can do with AI, and just be like, what is going to maximize profit at YouTube, and individual creators be damned. We don't really care. We say we do, but the reality is if we're making more money with a bunch of AI slop, they're going to let there be a bunch of AI slop. They're going to let there be fake news on the platform if they're making more money, unless there's a law against it, right? And given where the White House is right now, I don't think they're going to give a shit. I don't think they're going to give a shit. They're not going to be like, hey, let's let's crack down on fake news when a big part of the campaign was all mainstream media is fake news. They're not going to do shit. So at least for the next 4 years, I don't think anything is going to happen. So this is coming from Marketing Brew. AI slop is proliferating on YouTube and major brands are advertising against it. We got Samsung, Amazon, ironically, HBO Max. They had their ads appear next to low quality AI generated videos. They're not happy. One channel called Pan African Dreams has shared misinformation and recently made the news for posting a lengthy deepfake video that falsely depicts Pope Leo delivering a speech praising Traoré, the military leader of Burkina Faso. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Prompting a response from the Vatican. The video racked up more than 1 million views. It's going to get hard to tell what is fake and what is not fake. Another slop channel. That's what they're calling them all now. Anything that's AI, they're calling slop, even if it's not actually slop. Banana Adventure posts bizarre videos mostly centered on minions, the characters from Despicable Me, as well as other characters like the Joker. Marketing Brew observed ads for Amazon Hub Delivery, Android, and Tia Health next to that channel's content. And a third AI slop channel with the name Mikey, which seems to post mostly what appear to be AI-generated cartoon stills with AI-generated voiceovers, including images of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. We saw ads for Adobe and Samsung. Well, this is okay. So this is very similar to what happened with the, I don't know if you guys remember the Spider-Man and Elsa videos from, God, it's probably been like 8-10 years ago. But that is what triggered the adpocalypse, because there are all these crazy videos of people cosplaying as Elsa and Spider-Man, and there were tons of copycat channels because, again, YouTube, you watch one video about XYZ thing, then they're going to show you a whole bunch more videos about that thing, right? And in this case, it was kids content, or supposedly kids content. So kids would watch like the official Frozen sing-along video or whatever, and then they get recommended like, oh, Elsa's dating the Joker and also Spider-Man at the same time, and they're injecting themselves with needles and shitting out golf balls. Those are videos that actually existed. And this became a huge, huge thing. And then they got weird. They started having cartoons with like Elsa getting surgery, and it was graphic. They're like cutting her legs off and stuff. And God, it just got weird. It got really, really weird, but they're racking up millions and millions of views. And a lot of those videos were done overseas. So like somebody in the Philippines, gets $1 million on YouTube, but like how many years could you live in the Philippines on $1 million, US? It's like, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I think we're going to see probably like some kind of adpocalypse or something be what decides whether or not this content flies. I don't think YouTube is going to do much about it, but if enough advertisers say, hey, we don't want to put our ads on this crap, then that's what's going to be the deciding factor. They said, yeah, they offer controls for advertisers to decide where their ads run based on the content of a video, not how it was produced. The content, not how it was produced. And again, they're not gonna do shit because they're going all in on AI themselves, and they want you to use this. They want you to spend like $300 a month. They want you to spend a bunch of money, make a bunch of shorts, which you don't get paid squat for, using their tools, and they're gonna be totally fine with it. And then eventually, it'll just, like I said, the videos will make themselves, and that'll be the end of it for a lot of people. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there, guys. So yeah, go out to news.clownfishtv.com and subscribe just to make sure if we get gone, if we get swept up in this, and I'm starting to see the beginnings of something going on, make sure that you don't get, or you don't lose contact with us. It's a weird time to be on the internet. It really is. I've been doing this for a very long time. In the last year and a half, there has been more change. There's been more enshittification, I guess they call it, enshittification of the internet than I have ever seen in the 25 years I've been doing this. It's just absolutely bonkers. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. There you go. I don't think the slop's going anywhere. I really don't. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.